Hi friend, I'm Charlene Gray and welcome to Landscape Elevation and the sixth and last video of my video series about why landscape design makes a great side hustle. To sum up previous video topics, so the first reason was about how landscape design has low startup costs. The second reason was how the variable nature of the work itself means variable work for you, day to day, job to job. Third reason was about how easy it is to slow roll your way into being a landscape designer. The fourth reason is that this job requires you to spend at least part of your days outside. Not every day, but most days. The fifth reason is about how your job helps to bring joy and happiness to others. And the final reason I'll share with you today about why working as a landscape designer makes such a great side hustle and career is that the nature of this work can help you find joy in the work you do every day and also through the work you've done long ago and finished and completed. And so here's how I can say that. Well, and also here's a side note. If you are any kind of a creator, whether you create for yourself or you create for pay, I think you will know what I'm talking about, and I hope what I say reinforces some of these things and feelings for you. If you don't consider yourself a creator at this moment in time, but you think you might want to be a creator for pay, I will do my best to explain why this can be so rewarding with regard to working as a landscape designer. So, the first way in which working as a landscape designer can bring you joy is that you get to use your imagination and create a vision almost every day. No, you can't just have your head in the clouds all day every day, but you can have your head in the clouds for at least part of the day, almost every day. So let's face it, dreaming and imagining things is fun. Thinking of possibilities is fun. You get to purposely escape the here and now and literally dream big things. As long as this doesn't scare you, dreaming big things opens up your mind. Kind of like, have you ever seen a child look at one of those big pinwheel lollipops? Their eyes get huge and a smile comes to their face at just the thought of being able to eat that thing. Well, so as adults who yearn to create better spaces for people, a landscape in need of help is just like one of those huge lollipops is for kids. It's positively dreamy, and that dreaminess brings joyfulness for you. So then at some point, those big dreams and visions need to come down to earth, where they actually have to be built. So you get to hone in on figuring out how to make your visions possible in the landscape here on earth. And this sets you on a different path, which this second way is how you can experience joy as a landscape designer. And it is the one where you get to work through the details of what it will actually take to get these visions that you've had built. So thinking about and focusing on these details will not always be a cakewalk. Instead of walking with your head in the clouds, you'll be sitting with your brain all twisted up like a knotted up, braided rope or something, a Twizzler. But once your creative thinking gives way to solving the problems, you're in the clear again and you're overcome with relief. And that weightlessness and relieved feeling, that is joy. So that's the second way you get joy out of being a landscape designer. You have to go through heck, and then when you come out the other side, you're totally weightless and happy. All right, so you dreamed it, then you buckled down and you figured out how to get it built, and then you get to experience that vision you once had, but now you get to experience it as a reality. So these three things: forming a vision from your own creativity, the blood, sweat, and tears you endure to figure out how to make it all work, and then finally, after weeks, months, maybe even years, you get to experience your vision as a finished product that you get to live through with your feet instead of just through your imagination. So taking the journey along this path can be immensely gratifying. I mean, you basically enhanced one little tiny piece of planet Earth, but for the better. And to your clients, you gave tremendous and usable gifts that they can appreciate both consciously and subconsciously as they use the land outside of their home. So how did you do this? Well, it depends on the project, but maybe you figured out a really cool way to turn a site liability into an asset. Maybe you really fixed for good a stormwater runoff issue. Maybe you gave someone a driveway turnaround space that actually works, and their guests don't need to do a 12-point turn to get their car turned around in their driveway. Maybe you gave people a secret pathway to a borrowed vista that they otherwise wouldn't have noticed. The one thing you can be sure that you did was solve a complex puzzle with your own creative genius. And every time, this will bring a smile to your face, and maybe even your eyes will get huge. Guaranteed. So, taking all of this one step further, you will get to see the genius of your own work when you see other people's bodies using the spaces that you created, and they use them intuitively and delightfully. And that joy compounds when you think back to that job and you think of a time when you trusted your gut on some design decision that you weren't sure of, and someone else maybe second guessed you about it, but when you see that it actually works, it's one of those hallelujah moments. And then taking this even one step further, the cherry on top of all of these things is that you got paid to do these things. You were earning income for your family this entire time, even during that time when your head was in the clouds. But then you really earned it when you had to problem solve and had to figure out how to actually build this thing that you dreamed of. So that's it. Those are the 3 ways that being a landscape designer can bring you joy. Thank you so much for watching this last video in this 6-video series on why landscape design makes a great side hustle. I hope you've watched them all and were able to glean at least something from them. And if you're considering diving into landscape design, you're welcome to download my free Getting Started guide from my website. The link is below and it's completely free. If you are thinking about starting or have already started a landscape design side hustle, I would love to hear about what you've had success with or what you're toiling with. And if you're willing to share, please do so in the comments. This helps me understand your needs, and it helps our greater landscape design community realize that we are kind of all in this together and we all have a lot of similar things to say. So thank you again, and I'll see you in another video. Take care.